Okay, uh, let me see if the stream is actually running properly with my configurations. Okay. Right, it is. So that's taken care of. And let me. Yes, I was trying to see if my configurations were correct on this machine. It's a new machine. I'm not very sure if things will work properly or not. But yeah, what has happened recently is I, by mistake, made some changes to my GitLab account and I deleted my expense manager application, which I used to use. I have been using it for last 5 to 6 years, I guess. And I refactored it, changed it a lot, and recently it was running on Filament, and it was working fine. Basically, I would keep track of my expenses, pay bills, and make an entry, so that later on I was able to track my expenses based on categories and everything, and also it would allow me to verify whether I have made those bill payments or not because I tend to forget them. Okay, I have seen that bills are coming on different dates, and hence it becomes very difficult to keep track which one I have paid, which one I haven't paid, those kind of things. And this application used to really help me, and I have even tried to use that data for some machine learning things like doing some predictions and everything. And that's why I had a hunch that I needed a refactor, because I would want to add some bit of AI stuff as well. But again, I lost the entire code base because I deleted the GitLab project. The only thing which I had was um, the database, because my Docker instance also got deleted. And yeah, I had to recently change my server, right? So basically I lost code. And now I decided, okay, because I still have the database, because I was backing it every day, I will recreate the application and I should be able to migrate the old data. But overall, I will have an application which allows me to do or manage expenses. And this time I will even have some additional things like keep a track of my mutual funds, stocks, fixed deposits, and other things as well. Okay, so that's the plan. I'll start with the Laravel React starter kit, because that's something which I feel very comfortable with. I know that I will be able to manage the code in the long run. Yes, basic authentication is fine. So let's see how things go. I will go slow on this, piece by piece. I will initially just create the basic things so that I'm able to track my transactions, and then I will layer them with more things. That's the plan. Okay. By the way, yeah, if you guys have any questions in the meantime, keep pinging them, because yeah, I'll try to answer them. And this is going to be an open source project. I don't want to keep it. What is it? Encoding overloaded. Consider turning down video settings or using a faster encoder preset. Okay, I'll see that later. I was expecting this to happen because my configurations, I think, are not the most optimum one. But yeah, we'll tweak it as we go. I have my application. This is the GitHub repository, and what I would also do is let the code base get ready. Yeah, I'll open it up in Cursor, and let us write down some of the requirements so that we are able to work towards that. Maybe today, because I'm still playing through the configurations, I'll create the models, basic things, and then once we pick up speed, we will do more of that. Okay, readme dot md. So what are the things that I want? I think that is important to understand. Yes, I have to change my bitrate because this machine is getting slower. Okay, there's no no doubt about it. And the moment npm started doing its thing, yeah, I can sense that. All right. So what do we want to do? Wow. This is going to be a bit difficult. If I have so much lag, then it's almost like 5 7 seconds. Wow. What bitrate do I need then? Because npm will continue to run when I'm literally doing the actual development. So this is what the to do used to look like, right? So I should be able to track my expenses now. For that, I should be able to make expense from an account, right? And that account can be anything, like it can be an expense account like credit card, my actual bank, UPI, those kind of things. Okay, I'll have to think that through because UPI is again linked to my bank account. So yeah, how we can get that to work? So track my expenses. Expenses should have category, and wow, after the npm has stopped, I can see a significant improvement in the performance. Composer run dev. Let me run it for some time and again understand how things will behave when I'm doing the actual development, because that's where I'll have to decide if I need to reduce the bitrate or not, because I won't do that npm install and npm run build every time. All right. Okay. Yeah, this is running, and if I do localhost 8000, this is running the application, but yes, it is taking time. Okay, let's see. In the meantime, why don't we also do this? Because this is a good point to push everything before we start writing code. Okay, yeah, done. Nothing else? What does that even mean? Oh, yes, I know why. Git add, git commit, init code, and git push. So I have GC, which is git commit, and GP is git push, should work. Okay. I'm a bit lazy on these things. Yeah. What happened? My personal access token has expired. No, it doesn't have the permission for workflows. Okay. What I will do for now is I will delete this. Okay. And I'll add this later with a different access token. Okay. Right. So expense should have category. and right, then I will have should be able to add bills with their repeat date, should get should get reminders for my bills. Once paid, they should show up in my transactions. What else? Should be able to add incomes to accounts so that I have a live balance. Might need entries to sync up accounts. So for example, there can be situations where some charges have been directed from my account and all those kind of things would have keep happening, and I would like to add that sync entry so that they are I'm in my main account and what I have on my application, they sync up. All this is going to be manual, by the way, right? Okay, let's start with that. I'll need a couple of models, so I'll start with make model migration factory for I'll have account unt account. Okay, and for account what I will need is, maybe let me see, what do we have? We will need a name to the account. No, I don't think so. First thing is obviously who has created that account. So foreign foreign id for, wow, the autocomplete is not happening. And why is that? Yeah, is it because it is slow or something else? Yeah, it is slow. I'll have to do something about it. Okay, and this needs to be indexed. Okay, I will import the user class, and then okay, let's have a name. It is kind of talking about this description. I don't want type. Okay, yeah, I think it makes sense whether it is a bank account, a credit card account, or what kind of thing is this. And I will have right balance currency. Currency, okay, let's keep that. Yeah, I do understand it is required. Status, maybe if it is a status, I will do is active. Okay, default will be true. What else? So I have name, type, balance, currency. Yeah, let's go with this. And let me see what cursor has to say. User ID. Okay, bank, cash, credit card, other. Account type. Why don't I create an enum for this? Enums account type enum.php. Okay, and tab bank this. Yeah, I think it didn't pick up the names because I didn't do string, but yeah, now it will. So I am talking about 4 values: bank, cash, credit card, others. I think I don't need others. Okay. Random element cases. Yes, this is fine. The only thing which I will do is I will remove this particular case. Okay. It's not others. If there is anything else, I will add it to the code. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense really. Okay. Right. This is done. And what else? I have a user ID, name, type, balance, maximum two decimals, minimum zero. Maybe the minimum I will keep it as 5,000, and this is a way big number, maybe 50,000. Okay, that's about it. Fake currency. Okay, it will give me the currency, and this one I will do true. Okay, and I'll have a thing for inactive. Yes, where I have in is active as false. That's about it. Okay, that takes care. Now, this is done. I have this migration. My env should by default be creating a SQLite database. Yes, so that's fine. One more change which I will also do is, let's go into our default seeder, and we will say that you should find a user with this email. If not, then create one. So yeah, 1 2 3 email verified now, and yeah, that's about it. First or create. Okay, and what else? I think this is fine. MRS, what was that? Which MRS? It aliases to migrate, refresh, and seed. Yeah, so I'll run that. I should have a database DB SQL. I don't know why this is coming up again and again, but that's fine. Open database, code, tutorials, expense manager, database, and this should be fine. Now I have accounts and I have users. Okay, fair enough. Should spend some time on generating few transactions. Okay, because otherwise it becomes very difficult to work on that. Right. I will do this, which is get this user, and I'll have to first get to the user model, and a user has many accounts, right? Yes, it has many user accounts. So I'll import this, and over here I will do user accounts factory make. Is it? Let me see. I haven't tried this one. I was expecting a manual entry, but I can try this out. So let's do MRS again, and it failed. Oh yes, I know why. Because in my account I don't have a fillable array. Let me do a split. Name, type, balance, currency, this. Perfect. I have account type. So what I will do is, okay, yes, I'll add the relation belongs to, and I'll add a cast as well. Yes. Wow. I don't need the rest, but yes, definitely this one. Is it added? Account type enum. It wasn't. So I did that as well, and now, huh? Okay. So I have this enum, and Yeah, now it should work actually. Again, it failed. Create argument must be of type array. Has many or one. What is this? Let me see. Must be of type array. Okay. Isn't this an array? So create many. What does this give you? I think that's important because what I know is, yeah. Oh, I have too many entries. I can't scroll that much. Okay, so it is giving me an array, which is fine. User ID 3, user ID. Why is it giving a user ID? But right. So okay, never mind. So what I will do is I will have account factory 3 accounts create, right, the old school way of this, and this should definitely work. Let's see. Have I removed the DD? I have. Okay. Come to think of it, I should have created some proper data instead of factory, but that's fine. At least I have something to play around with. Yeah. All of them are from user 1. Yeah, this name becomes too human like, which doesn't really make sense. Maybe I'll change it later on, uh, to have a more something like, okay, maybe collect, right? Something which I tend to do is, let's say HDFC Bank savings, ICICI Bank credit card, and Axis Bank credit card, like this, and then you do an each account user, yes, and yeah. Sorry, but I will initially take a little bit of time because these things are initial setup, which if we spend good amount of time, what happens is it sets us for the future. Okay, yeah, okay, much better. Maybe I'll later on change the balance as well, to make them more realistic. This is yeah, actually they are fine, just the numbers are not whole numbers. Okay, fine. So we have an account, and what I would also do here is have the accounts, fine. What did we say? I should be able to make expense from an account, and expenses should have category, right? So the account is kind of in place. I'll quickly make a commit of basic account setup, right? So vendor bin pin. This will run on a lot of files, yeah. But fine, I should have made a commit at that point, but generate. So we have the account setup. For the category, what I feel is we should do something like a name of the category. Okay. Oops, not all. Sorry. Like, what do we have? We have a category name. We have a type, which is whether it is of type expense or income. Okay. And do we need anything else in a category? Maybe not right now. So these are two things, and is active is always there because I would want it to be linked to being visible or not. Okay, so we will create one more model. category. I don't want a description right now. I feel it is an overkill. Um, Category, this is here. And so what are the three fields we are talking about? Name, type, and is active. Okay. Category, I don't need the user ID. Category can be for every user. Okay, for now. And then I have string, name. Okay, and then came through name, and then it was string. Oops, sorry, table. Table, string, type. Now, one thing which I do prefer is instead of enums, right, I make it a string table, string column, and then I cast it with an enum. It helps because tomorrow if I want to add one more type, right, it doesn't require a migration. I feel that's an overkill. That's why I tend to avoid that. Hey, the model name is in small letter. I made a mistake, right? So I'll have to do this as capital C. But my worry is that if I rename, sometimes in in Linux it doesn't detect the capital versus small difference. Okay, looks like it is doing that. I don't know. In here I have imported the model. Yes, that will be capital C. Okay, hold on. And what else do we have? Fillable, right? Wow, it took everything in here. Expenses. So a category. Right now I don't have expenses. How are you showing that? It doesn't belong to a user, right? And what I have done is, yeah, that should be fine. Type is again an enum. I'll have to create an enum. So category, 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 type enum.php, and this is again string, expense income. Oops, where is my cursor? Yes. This is correct. So in here I will cast. Okay. And now time for the factory. So in here, name faker. Okay. Random is active, is true. Yes. And I'll create one more type which is inactive just in case. All right. This is done. And wow, it says yes. I'll need to go to the DB database seeder. So I'll go over here and categories. Food, transport, rent, bills, entertainment, others. Yeah, this is fine to start with. I'll have a category. User ID is not there. Name is there. Then I have type. All of them are expenses, which is fine. Done. Yeah, is active is true. So, that's anyways good. All right, what else? This is also done. So I'll do MRS. And now let's see. I have my categories table. And this is my category expense. I should add one more, which is the um, collect this. Wow, salary freelance. Okay, yeah. What is it doing? Yeah, this is fine. I think this is fine. The name, investment, I'll remove. Others is fine. And yeah, that should take care of it. Fresh. All right. Now that we have these two, correct? We have accounts, we have categories, we can work on the expense entry, right? So before that, I will just do a vendor bin pint, and then just add it. Okay, this is done. Where is my readme? Others. Okay, let me have some water. Right, this is done. Now, what all things have we completed? We have a category, we have accounts. So let's focus on the expenses. For expenses, what all columns do we need? This is important, right? Or we can call it transactions. Now, transactions can be both. It can be income and an expense. So what can happen is, because transaction can have a type, what is the enum name? Category type. Okay. I wonder what would be a good idea. Is it better to name the enum as transaction type, which is income and expense, and then refactor it, and change it in the category? I think that would be better, right? Because category type instead, yes, transaction type. Transaction type. I don't know how much. Okay, this was refactored. Now in the model, transaction type. Okay, in the factory, transaction type. Wow. So 3 files has changed, right? This has been deleted, which is fine. This has been added, which is fine. And yes, the 3 files. So I guess the refactor did work. Wow. These kind of things initially I used to get in PHP Storm, but now with Cursor, I really enjoy these kind of refactors done with a lot of care. These kind of things in VS Code would have been very challenging. Right now, this project is in a very small state. I mean, it's literally 3 files got changed, which is like I could tell it from memory. But if it was a bigger project, you will have to. I would rely on certain things, like I would search everywhere. I will try and understand where all in which all places that enum has been used, and I'll have to change it everywhere. Sorry. And on top of it, right, I would also kind of go into every file and understand what that exact change is, because I won't do just a search replace. I would take that care to read every line and understand what I'm changing. It was time consuming, but yes, these things are becoming quite easy with this thing. So track my expenses through transactions. That makes sense. Okay. So in transactions, what will we have? We will have the ID, which is obvious. Let's not even bother about that. User ID is required. Who made that transaction? Account ID will be required. Then it is the type, okay, income or expense. Then obviously the amount, the date, and maybe a small definitely a description, otherwise it doesn't make sense. Yeah, and what will happen is on save, what do we need to do? We need to add slash subtract the amount from account, from the account, okay, and should happen in a db transaction. And what else? Okay, I guess one thing is should check for negative balance. We will not allow it right now. Okay. And what do we have? So we do the transaction, we make a save entry, right? And we have a category. The way I am thinking about it is, I'll have a text field for description, the date. Yeah, a description. I will select the date because not always you will make the entry on the same date. So yeah, there will be a description, there will be a date, there will be an expense type, or actually not an expense type because I will just select the category. Okay. I can also create the UX in a way that I will have two buttons. One button is add expense and the second one can be add income, and then automatically I will be filtering the categories based on that. Okay, I don't need to worry about it. And the amount. So what will happen is when I'm saving, first of all, I will again check the category based, the type, whether it is an income or an expense. I will do some validations about the balance, and then I will have I will have to do the negate, subtract, or add thing, right? Okay, fair enough. Let's get started. So then we will start with the model, and this time I will need to ensure that it is in capital. Okay, transaction. Perfect. Now let me see if I have any comments. I guess there's a low possibility because I started ad hoc, and the basic idea was to, at least I wanted to get started because this was due for quite some time, and I was delaying it because I was busy on a different project. But then I thought, I'm not creating content for quite some time on my YouTube channel, and on top of it, I'm not even doing live stream. So this is a good way because then my time on recording is saved, and this project also continues to happen, and I get my expense manager again, and that's also one more important piece. Perfect. So let's get started with our transaction table, which is this, right? I will close it out, split, and what do we have? First, foreign ID for user. Okay, because every transaction belongs to a user. Then foreign ID for account, yes, perfect. Then there is string type, amount, date, description. What else do you need? Everything is taken care of. Okay. um, indexes on, yes, I will need an index on this. Am I missing the category? Because I saw that and I realized that yes, I am not doing the category and it will not fly. So the type, I'm thinking about it. I have a category. If I don't add the type, right, what will happen is whenever I am trying to look at my transaction list, I will always have to join, but that join is always going to happen for my category. So I'll have to join the category and I'll have to also say that give me all the transactions where category dot type is income or category dot type is expense, right? And I am just thinking out loud whether that's a good idea or should I put it over here. I will need transaction lists, okay, and there will be listing, there will be general things, but very rarely will I look at the transaction list without the category. So I think I will not repeat it over here. Okay. Sometimes what happens is I think the term is called denormalize. No, I can go with the category ID, but if that means there are a lot of joins, sometimes it is good to duplicate it, just to save on performance of your query times. But in here, what I can see is I will hardly make any query without the category join. So at this point, it is fine, right? That index will not help. It will unnecessarily create more overhead. It will take up space. It will take up time when we are making inserts and updates, right? So that's fine. I think we can move ahead with this. So I have a transaction table migration ready, and what I will do is transaction factory. Let's see how much it has picked up. User ID, yes, this is fine. Hey, hello Punyapal, how are you doing? Thanks for coming on the stream. Yeah, so what have we here? Right, so account, user account, yes, account, the factory is fine. And then the category, amount, right, everything is being taken care. These AI code editors make you so lazy. I mean, I have seen I have realized that there are situations where I would wait for that autocomplete to come in. It just makes life so easy. No, Punyapal, I didn't announce anywhere. What happened is, I had an expense tracker application, and by mistake I deleted the GitLab repository. I lost that application. I had the database. I still have the database, but yeah, I lost the code. It was a filament code, and I wanted to recreate it for quite some time, but I've been lazy working on different projects, but not on this one. So I thought, let's start. Hey, hi Chirag. Yeah, I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. And thanks for being on the online. And yes, it's XFCE. Oh, so it looks like you also use it. So I have been playing around with some of these versions. Ubuntu desktop felt a bit heavy, and I wanted wanted something which is lighter, because OBS is taking a huge toll, and yeah, I wanted to explore this, and that's why it's a completely new setup. Let's see how things go. Check the Chinmay's repo. Yes, Punyapal, I know Chinmay has created one, and it's quite exhaustive, but it's the developer's edge. I wanted to have something of my own because I want to host it on my Raspberry Pi, so that I can access it, and it will be API first, because I have a plan to create a mobile application as well, because as I said, right, it will be Raspberry Pi. So the idea is, um, I will add the transaction, and my mobile application will check whether it is online or not. If it is not, then it will wait, and when I'm when the Raspberry Pi gets back online, right? Maybe when I come back home, I will just click a sync button, and it will sync up everything which is there. So I want to do quite a few things, and hence I decided, okay, no, I'll start creating my own version. Perfect. Where was I? Ta, 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 ta. This is my factory which is ready. Let me see where my model is doing, what my model is doing. Okay. By the way, Chirag, I tried Omarkey, and it is very nice in terms of the UI and everything, but that package manager and every configuration, it's a learning curve. So I thought, let's not go into that rabbit hole, because it will take additional time in terms of that learning curve. So I wanted to avoid that. Okay, so I have fillable, which is user ID, account ID, category, amount, date, description, which is fine. Amount, decimal 2, okay, fine. Type, I don't have a type, right? The category is an ID, so I will keep it as is. It belongs to a user, which is fine. A transaction belongs to a user, transaction belongs to an account, yes, and a transaction also belongs to a category. Yes, thank you, cursor. We have everything in place. And by the way, do I have Postman installed? Yes, I do. So fine. What I will do is, although I have my React starter kit, which is Inertia. Yeah, sorry. I will be using Inertia, but because I know that I will need the API, so I will my controller will be calling services. Right. Great. Let me now. What was I planning to do? Yeah, this is kind of done. I will create a few transactions. Maybe database seeder. Yeah. Now this is where a little bit of hard coding will be required. I will do that right now, but then later on you'll have to fix that. So basically, my first transaction type is, this is ID1, this is ID2, this I know, right? So I will fake those numbers in my database seeder to generate that data point, and then later on we'll create a complete CSV, and then do a database seed of that would be the best way to handle that. Okay. Yeah. All right, let me see. My transactions table should be ready. It has user ID, account ID, category, amount, date, and description. Yes, this is kind of ready, I would say. And now I will create the dummy thing. Okay. Uh, Let me first try to write things down, and then I will see how we can loop them through. Create. What is it doing? Right. User ID is, I have the user variable over here, right? So user ID is fine. Account ID, what I will do is start hard coding things. I will add some things in my, yeah, this one, correct. Where is it? So account ID 1, category, hold on. Category is, oh, category 1 is food. Okay, it's going to be a lot of food. Amount 500,000 rupees for food. Okay, so, and maybe not salary. This is dinner with friends. Okay, so let me create a few. This is the kind of array that I'm looking at, right? So again, select. This is done. A few more. I will have match with friends. One more thing. Let's keep the numbers changing. What is the thing for trans? Okay, so we have a transport as well. So I'll add one more for that as well. Okay, category is wrong. Uh, 150 category transport, and this one is right. I think this is fine. Yeah, so all expenses, and let's add one small thing as, yeah, that's fine. Now each, this should ideally solve the requirement if it doesn't fail, obviously. Right. This is here now. Transactions. This is working. User ID, account ID, category 2, and yeah, this is fine. So if I join the thing, so select star from users. Sorry about that. I tend to have I tend to do this so that I understand things are happening properly or not. How do we play? There should be a shortcut for this. This is control return, right? Yeah. So select star from transactions. Yeah. Join users as u as t on u dot id equals t dot user id. Yes. And I should get the users. Yes. T dot star comma u dot name, maybe. Okay. And yeah, then I have my category. So categories as c on c dot id equals t dot category id, and I'll do c dot name. Right. And we will also need the, this is where I need the type as well, right? So c dot type, we had a type, right? Correct. So what will happen is, at any given point of time, if I want to do an income, I can do where c dot type equals income, and I'll have no entries for that, and when I do expense I'll get all my expenses, so this is fine. Yeah, just keep this in here for later use. Okay, and I don't have to type that much then again. Yeah, this is kind of shaping up nicely. What I will do is, let me create a controller. This will be transaction controller, and I don't need this, I don't need this, even this one. Oh, transaction controller. Yeah, for now we will only handle the store. Okay, I will later on create a request class for the validation, but let's go step by step. And right, what do we want to do? Let's write them down first. Yeah, validate the request, then check the account balance. Now this can go into the, actually no, it will not go into the authorize. I will put that as a validation, because authorization will, yeah, it's not a best thing. It is better to show a message as validation error that you don't have enough balance maybe to do that. Okay. Yeah, so where were we? Let me split, go over here. Right, so we validate the request, we check the account balance, we create the transaction, update the account balance, and return the transaction. Okay, right. I'm just trying to recollect everything is in place or not. Okay. Yeah, I think it is. So yeah, let's get started with that. So what all things do we need for validation? What we will do is, let me see what's the time. Actually, it's almost 8:35. It's about an hour. So guys, what I will do is, maybe at least for now, for today, we will keep it at this. We will create the entire flow of the transaction tomorrow, because yeah, I guess there are some things that I'll need to take care of right now. So I'll continue with this thing tomorrow. But yeah, it's a good thing. At least I made some head start with the application. As I said, it was my laziness. I was not working on it, and going live has two benefits. I have some content for my channel, and I am able to make some progress on this application as well. So yeah, that's good. I hope to catch up with you guys tomorrow again. I'm really hoping to be a little consistent with this, so that I'm able to cover things. But yeah, thanks for being online and joining me on this this small 1 hour code sprint. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or anything, do mention on the comments of the video, and get in touch with me. If you have any good ideas, I will definitely take that up as well, if it fits with the overall scheme of things. Yeah.